What happens when a simple request turns into a legal battle? For almost 2 decades, one frustrating issue kept following me around. A problem that started with a bad rental experience and ended with a shocking win in court against a well-known, very snooty real estate agency in Queensland, Australia. From 2004 to 2006, I rented a property through this agency. My ex-partner had a violent temper, which eventually led to us receiving an eviction notice. He had caused a lot of damage to the house, large, fist-sized and hammer-sized holes in the walls that had not been repaired when we were evicted. Because of this, we didn't get any of our bond back. In fact, we still owed about $1,700 for the remaining repair costs, and this debt was sent to a collection agency. Since we were both on the lease, the debt was in both our names. I wasn't angry at the real estate agency at that time. They were just protecting the homeowner. Losing the bond and paying for repairs was fair. I was annoyed that I had to share responsibility for damage caused by my ex, but because it was a joint lease, nothing could legally change that. A few years after the eviction, I wanted to clean up my life and fix anything that could hold me back. The unpaid debt was first on the list. After many phone calls, paperwork, and escalations, the collection agency finally agreed to split the $1,700 between my ex and me. He refused to cooperate, probably hoping I'd pay the whole thing, but they allowed the split without his consent. Once I paid my half, I thought the problem was gone. I was wrong. In my state, real estate agencies can add tenants to a rental blacklist called the TICA list. Because of the eviction, the damage, and the debt, both our names had been listed. Being on TICA made renting almost impossible. After talking to the RTA, I learned I had the right to be removed from the list, since I had paid my share and could prove my ex was abusive. But only the real estate agency had the power to remove my name. At first, they were friendly. They said if I showed proof that the debt was paid, they would remove me. By this time, at least 7 years had passed, so they thought it was enough punishment. Normally, names drop off TICA after 5 years. But this company had been secretly adding people back onto the list when their time expired. Clearly, that's what happened to me. I gave them all the documents, and they said they just needed to find my old file in storage. It would take 1 week, no problem. A week passed. They told me to wait 1 more week, then another. The tone changed from polite to cold to downright rude. By the 4th call, they told me my request was annoying and unimportant, and that they would get around to it when they had time. Then I heard the magic sentence: "If you want us to do this so badly, maybe you should take us to court." Game on. I knew they were stalling on purpose, so I took their advice. I filed a case in small claims court. It cost me $35, which they would have to repay if I won. The court date was set for 4 days later. As soon as they received the court notice, my phone exploded with calls. Suddenly, they were working very hard to help me, and couldn't believe I dared to take them to court. I politely thanked them for suggesting it. It finally gave me a proper timeline. On the day of the hearing, I brought only 3 pages. Proof I had paid my half of the damage, a statement from the RTA saying I was allowed to be removed from TICA, and another statement saying the real estate agency had no valid reason to refuse. The agency sent not 1, but 2 representatives. They carried a thick folder full of paperwork and photos of the old damage. Pretty funny, considering they had just spent weeks claiming they couldn't find my file. They argued I didn't deserve to be removed. I simply said I paid my part. The damage was caused by my abusive ex, and I had done everything I could to fix things. The judge asked why I brought the case. I explained how they had dragged it out, lied about finding my file, re-added my name after the 5-year limit, and harmed my ability to rent. The judge asked them why they relisted me. They said it was company policy. The judge did not like that. The judge ruled in my favor. They had 48 hours to remove my name from the TICA list and send proof to both me and the court. They also had to repay my $35 fee. The 2 agents stormed out angrily. I floated past them, feeling victorious. As I reached the lift, I thanked them for their great advice about court, and for the bottle of wine they'd be buying me with the $35 they now owed me.